Hello everyone, my name is Khalior. I bring you the latest news related to Bloodhunt and everything around it, and I help explain the news in a way to better understand what is going on. Given that most of the news about Bloodhunt these days are driven by community events, I will only make news recaps when I think it's worth doing one. So for posterity, archival, and recording purposes, currently it is Sunday, November 17th, 2024. It is currently 7:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It has been 936 days since the release of Bloodhunt, and currently activated in game still is the Primus Pass, and we still have the community update patch still on. We're all recording this live on Twitch, so please give me and I forgot to turn off my alarms, which I will do just right now. We're recording this live on Twitch, so please give me a follow if you want to stay updated on the Bloodhunt news, or at least like the latest things on the Bloodhunt community. Or if you have any questions that you want to ask me personally about Bloodhunt whenever I'm streaming, feel free to pop in, ask me questions and a question in chat. I'm always good to answer any questions you have, because there's not a lot of people that want to correctly state some things about Bloodhunt out there. So yeah, I can be your source of information. You can quote me. If you're live, feel free to ask questions in the chat, especially if they're relevant to what I'm talking about during the news segment. If you got like some other things you want to ask about, they're not related to what I'm talking about, maybe leave that after I'm done with the news. We're going to speed through that because today we got a lot of things to cover. And as a reminder and disclosure, I'm not a game dev. I'm not bound by an NDA or related to Bloodhunt, but I will do the best I can to explain the news with some reasonable assumptions. And yes, yet again, because I'm asked about it weekly, I do not work for Sharkmob. So first of all, sorry I haven't been streaming a lot. Even Twitch is sending me reminders of like, are you still there? You used to stream, dude. Lots of things happening. I was meant to do a news recap. I've postponed this news recap at least 3 times in the last month. The timing was all wrong all of the time, or something came up at all times anyways. As a reminder, I've predicted this. I've told you IRL work and all the burnout that's related to that, plus a whole bunch of IRL things in general are getting in the way of my streaming time. So again, you're probably not going to see much of me this month, for part of December as well. I'm very tired, you guys. So I'm sorry I can't do the content creator always there all the time. But you know, I have a bunch of videos to edit, so you'll see them popping up on my YouTube, some non-Bloodhunt related stuff, things I've been doing on stream. And even there is one video that I'm waiting on approval to post that is going to be something that I recorded on the side with my best friend. So if you want to check it out, it's a hidden object game. Some people who follow my channel know that we have a lot of fun with those things. I will still stream. I need to do those treadmill streams. I need to do those VR streams. I promised you I would do those. I'm not giving up on that. It's just that the timing and other factors need to line up to make those happen. That being said, Bloodhunt, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to go Twitch drops, community voting, event results, upcoming events. We're going to be talking a few Discord updates, or updates that I found on Twitters, and a few reminders, and including possibly the biggest update to Bloodhunt that we've had since the community update posts. We're going to be talking about Exoborne news, some Sharkmob bad news that have unfortunately been confirmed now, and we're going to finish it off with a confirmation for Bloodlines 2 that we already knew, but now it's been actually confirmed that it's going to go exactly the way that some of us have already predicted. It's backed up by the owner of Paradox. Of exactly what's going to be happening with that show. Anyways, let's get... Okay, I'll edit this out. Let's go. Frick. Let's go with news. I forget. I'm bad. It's Quait. All right, Quait. Damn it. I'm sorry. I apologize. Evil Quaint. Yes. So, first we're gonna I'm just gonna mention, because I didn't there's gonna be, I'm gonna speed through this section because it's usually a lot of stuff that it's old news, but it's nothing that I've covered on my news stream. So just for, like I said, archival and posterity, it's recorded somewhere and you can see it. So there you go. Talking about Twitch drops that we had for the last week of October. Wait, Raider from, oh yeah. Because I was already watching that stream. That's why I'm Raider. Okay, again, edit this. Khalior, edit this. All right, so these are the actual drops that we had. The zombie walk emote, white death mask, the iron mask, feline siren mask, coquette kitten mask, and the specialist mask. Whole bunch of masks. Actually, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Originally, we used to have these drops except the iron mask. So it was all bunch of it was all these except the iron mask, and I was just like, hey, so for the drops, guys, you're putting the mask in Masquerade. And they were just like, all right, we'll take it. It's just like, yeah, this is free. You can use this for free. Just like, yeah. And then Tobias went like, you know what? Maybe we could add the iron mask. I'm just like, what's stopping you from doing it? And then a couple of days later, he's just like, okay, here's the final list. Here's the iron mask in it. So we had those for a week. And we had, just for the record, they were available for a whole week after watching 1 hour of Bloodhunt content. Now, the ones that we have this week, this month, plus the milk, of course, the milk outfit and the Swift Vision eyewear, which have been there as regular drops for the whole year. We have the Blow Raspberry emote, Sakura Spectre mask that a lot of people have been asking for, Demon's Descent outfit that is for female only characters, the Vengeful Dawn eyewear with the barbed wires, the Dropner outfit for female Bruja, and the puppet emote. A lot of people have been asking for emotes to come back, so there you go. These are the ones that come back. Now, these ones are available from the top 100 streamers of Bloodhunt from October. If you want to see the list, here it is. I posted it. It was already on the Discord. Yeah, all you have to do is watch 4 hours of Bloodhunt content from these people who have the drops. That includes me. I'm right there. And yeah, you just got to make sure that your accounts are linked all together, and yeah, you're gonna get your drops. So that's 4 hours of streaming. Now, I want to mention suggestions for drops, especially the past ones that you'd like to see come back. You can always go in the Bloodhunt Discord and Bloodhunt chat, or in the Inner Circle chat, and post the ones that you'd like to see come back, if there are some specific ones that you'd like to see ones. And you can always go consult the list that's already out there, that's posted about all the past items that have been made into drops. It's not every drop that you're gonna find on the internet or inside the game files. That means they can be turned into drops, but especially the ones from the past, if there's some that you're missing, you can always suggest them. I can tell you that the December ones have already been chosen. I've seen the general idea of what it's supposed to be, because I helped out a little bit in that regards, because I dug into all the Twitch drops that have existed, and I went okay, these are the ones that we have not seen for a very long while. I posted that for Tobias, and he picked and chose a bunch of them for December, so I already know what's going to be there. And for the people who are going to ask, yes, there is a plan apparently for the 2 deer masks that usually come out at Christmas. I don't know what the plan is, Tobias said that he had a concept of a plan. So we're going to see what the plan is going to be. We're all going to figure it out all together. So there's going to be things happening in December. Don't worry. All right, moving on to community voting. Like I said, we're going to be covering a lot of things that happened. This is just to have it recorded. So I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible so we can get through the other news, right? All right, so this is for the vote of October 13. These were the results that we had at the time. So yeah, maybe go like this. There we go. We got better view of what's happening there. At 36% for TDM maps, it was Memorial Park, Red Light District, and Skybar. Legendary weapons, we had the revolver, dual SMGs, pump shotgun, and assault rifle at 38% of the vote. Again, the community didn't really know what to do with those options that were there that week. And for artifacts, we had the Crow Famulus and the Hand of Glory. The options that we had for that week on options to vote. For artifacts, we had Rourke's Ram, Eye of Thorns, Expeditus Boots, and Hand of Glory, Crow Famulus, and Noddist Volume. For TDM maps, we had the option of Graveyard, Harbor, and Slaughterhouse, Railway Station, Skybar, and Library. Option 3, Rodolphinum, Old Town Square, Rooftop Restaurant. And as for legendary weapons, we had the options of double barrel, LMG, auto shotgun, burst rifle, pistol, flare gun, revolver, and sniper rifle, assault rifle, hunting rifle, dual SMGs, and dual pistols. These were the options that we had. And from these options, the following week, what we chose as a community was, at 42% of the votes, we chose Graveyard, Harbor, Slaughterhouse, which was good for Halloween to have the graveyard. For legendary weapons, at 55% of the votes, huge, assault rifle, hunting rifle, dual SMGs, and dual pistols. This was a very strong week. And we had the combo of Expeditus Boots and Hand of Glory at 55% of the votes. Not surprised that the community would vote that way during that week. The options we had for that week were, we had the options of Expeditus Boots, Hand of Glory, Rourke's Ram and Eye of Thorns, Noddist Volume, and Crow Famulus. We already knew what was going to happen for the following week, didn't we? So for TDM maps, we had Skybar, Abandoned Mall, Railway Station, Burning Church, Rodolphinum, and Red Light District, Old Town Square, Slaughterhouse, Divine Disco. For legendary weapons, dual pistols, pump shotgun, auto shotgun, and pistol for one option. Option 2 was Tommy gun, marksman rifle, double barrel, and dual crossbows. Option 3 was 9-barrel, sniper rifle, burst rifle, and dual SMGs. The results the following week, there we got, from these choices, were, we chose as a community, Burning Church, Rodolphinum, Red Light District at 39% of the votes. 46 was at the 9-barrel sniper rifle, burst rifle, and dual SMGs. A result that surprised me, and surprised me even more the fact that it was at 46% of the votes. Big surprise. The one that was absolutely not a surprise was at 54% of the votes. We've decided for Boots and Hand of Glory. The choices we had then as a community, hold on, we had the choice of Rourke's Ram and Eye of Thorns, Expeditus Boots and Noddist Volume, Crow Famulus, and Hand of Glory. TDM maps, we had Railway Station, Rooftop Restaurant, Harbor, Skybar, Rodolphinum, and Burning Church, Divine Disco, Memorial Park, and Graveyard. Legendary weapons, we had the choice of sniper rifle, dual crossbows, double tap, and dual SMGs. 9-barrel LMG, Tommy gun, and flare gun. Option 3, toggler, auto shotgun, marksman rifle, and pistol. What did we choose? Well, at this point in time, you should know what we chose because we just finished the week with these results being live, and the results were 37% we voted for railway station, rooftop restaurant, and harbor. At 38%, again, very split vote. Sniper rifle, dual crossbows, double tap, and dual SMGs. And at 41%, I would still consider that split in the community. Crow Famulus and Hand of Glory. This was a very, very good option, but still, you know, on the verge of being still split. Remember, a vote like that's in the 30s means that the community is very split. It's not very decided. Anything over regularly 40% means that there is a clear winner, but when it's in the low 40s, it's not that much decided in the community. So that's what we had. That's what we just played with. And I mean, the vote results right now are in. These are the choices that we had. Choices were Nodist Volume, Expeditious Boots, Eye of Thorns and Crow Famulus, Rourke's Ram, and Hand of Glory. For TDM maps, we had the choice of Divine Disco Memorial Park Slaughterhouse, Red Light District Rooftop Restaurant and Skybar, Option 3 Old Town Square Burning Church and Library. Legendary weapons, we had the combo of pistol, double tap, auto shotgun, marksman rifle, combo of dual crossbows, dual pistols, 9-barrel and crossbow, and the third one of double barrel, revolver, flare gun, and Tommy gun. Now, this has just been posted a few moments ago. This is what we currently have for the week. Wait, I'm completely messed up. I spent a week earlier. Yes, again, it's a week earlier. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. These are... This is what happens when I have like too many things that are happening at once. These were the vote results that we just played this week with. I was saying them and I was going like, wait a second, I played with the crossbow just a moment ago. What's happening with me? And those alerts should not be showing right now because I'm recording the video. Edit that out, Khalior. What we just played with as 42% of the votes was Divine Disco Memorial Park and Slaughterhouse. Legendary weapons were the dual crossbows, dual pistols, 9-barrel and crossbow, and artifacts were Nodist Volume and Expeditious Boots. I'm bad. All right. These are the voting options that we had to choose for this week. For real this time. Okay, we had the choice of Expeditious Boots, Nodist Volume, Rourke's Ram, Eye of Thorns, Hand of Glory, Crow Famulus. TDM maps, we had the options of Memorial Park, Divine Disco, Burning Church, Graveyard, Town Square, Slaughterhouse, Railway Station, Skybar, and Harbor. And for legendary weapons, auto shotgun, toggler, flare gun, double barrel, dual SMG, silence SMG, assault rifle, and Tommy gun. And third, pistol, dual pistols, burst rifle, and revolver. Now, for real, these are the results that have been posted a moment ago. Just a moment ago, these are what we currently have inside of the game. For real, for real. The TDM maps are Memorial Park, Divine Disco, and Burning Church at 46% of the votes. Huge vote from the community. And even huger, but absolutely totally expected, is the vote of legendary weapons of dual SMG, silence SMG, assault rifle, and Tommy gun at 64% of the vote. As usual, having the assault rifle and Tommy gun are very much preferred in terms of like spray and pray from the community, even though a lot of people say that they don't like the Tommy gun. I don't believe that. Every time that the gold Tommy gun is there, it's got a lot of votes. But most surprisingly is for the third week in a row, we have Expeditious Boots along with the Nodist Volume at 43% of the votes. It's good to play Bloodhunt without the Hand of Glory inside of the games all the time. And now, what this means, these are the options that we're going to have next weekend, next Sunday, when we are going to have the FUNament for Duos game mode. These are going to be the options that we're going to have. The weapons, the artifacts, it's great. We're singing hallelujah. The maps aren't going to be going much longer because of the Hand of Glory. The voting choices that we have this week. Well, this is the last thing. We're done. After that, we're going to the other news. So the options that we currently have this week are, oh no, it's good. We can stay like that. We have Rourke's Ram and Expeditus Boots, Hand of Glory and Eye of Thorns, Noddest Volume and Crow Famulus. Now, I just want to take a moment to tell you. Personally, I'm honestly beyond bored at this point of the whole debate of hand versus boots. I think we've been talking about it for way too long. This discussion in the community, even though it's coming up very often, I think in terms of like novelty, it's very dead and tired. And I think we need to talk about something else in the community. So from now on, I am going to start recommending votes with anything that has Rourke's Ram or the Eye of Thorns. I think that normally when people vote especially looking at boots, looking at Hand of Glory, and kind of like the Noddest Volume and the Crow Famulus. Whenever they're there, they're not bad. They're always appreciated, these two. They're not as hot as Hand of Glory and Expeditus Boots. Okay, so if ever we get one of these two, you know, it's okay. It's never a loss for anyone. The things that people avoid because of the negatives out of them is the Eye of Thorns, which increases the damage dealt, but also the damage received whenever you have that artifact equipped. And also there's Rourke's Ram, which gives you increased melee speed, but you take continuous damage when you're getting to it, when you're using it. The good thing about the continued damage is that if you have two sanguine perks on you in order to regain health, it negates the continuous damage that you're taking. Except if you're wearing a shield. If you're wearing a shield, it's going to be ticking 2 points off of the shield every second. So if you're using a shield while you have Rourke's Ram equipped on you, it means that you're going to be losing your shield. But if you have 2 sanguine perks, you're always going to be at 200 health, topped in at all times when you're not getting shot at. So yeah, I think I am going to start campaigning for people to vote Rourke's Ram and Eye of Thorns, because we do not see them in our matches. And honestly, I think we need the spiciness inside of the matches coming from these 2 artifacts. So it just turns out also on top of that was totally not planned that, hey, Rourke's Ram is there with the Expeditus Boots. So I'm going to be recommending for people, if ever you want to vote this week, let's vote for this. Let's have some mobility and let's have some melee attack speed. Let's go with this one. If you want to choose, it's up to you, but this is what I'm recommending. We need these 2 back inside the game. But that's just my opinion. Remember to lock in your votes every week before Sunday evening. Now, let's jump into community events. Now, I want to remind everyone, even the people who know this for a very long time, that you should join the Bloodhunt Discord. A lot of the community events, a lot of the events that are happening these days happen because they are made by the community. So you can be any person right now in the community and you say, I want to make an event. You can always do so. So all of these news, everything that has to do with community events, we have a community events channel in the Bloodhunt Discord. Everything is posted there. A lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about, everything has been posted there. The links to the forums, the links to sign up, the links to the results, all of this is posted on the Bloodhunt Discord. So make sure you go there and make sure you go follow that channel. Now, one thing that happened, and we don't know the results of it, but it happened. Not a lot of people talked about it because it happened so fast that we barely saw about it. There was a pumpkin carving event. Something that was not organized by the Bloodhunt community, that was organized by people at Sharkmob, was a pumpkin carving event. And yeah, if you read the rules and you go on the Bloodhunt Discord, you could get 500 tokens. We don't know the results of that. But yes, there was a pumpkin carving event, and what you had to do was to carve the Bloodhunt logo or one of the game's symbols on a pumpkin, squash, turnip, or whatever, and post and make sure you've got the hashtag. And then it was up from October 31st to November 7th. Yeah, and we haven't seen any results from this. I don't know if anyone actually submitted anything, because it was so out of the blue, and also posting it on October 31st. It's a little late. It's a little late. Most people either carved their pumpkin like on the day of Halloween or the day before. So maybe giving us maybe a heads up like about a week maybe before would have been a good option. I would have participated in it, even though I don't need the 500 tokens. I would have done something for it. You kidding me? Anyway, so going to be looking forward to the results if ever there are any. One thing that happened was we had a FUNament, a solo FUNament that happened during October. And we got the results and feedback about all of this. So the feedback, here it is. Everyone can see it. There we go. So some words. 1,178 enemies have been killed. 143 was the average player score, which was the highest ever so far. 70 assists have been registered. 38 people were killed by the same player in one match. 18 players submitted valid matches. The results of the kill race were Nevi, Moriarty, and KitKate. If you want to see the details, you can click here and you can see the whole scoreboard of everyone, how everyone did. It's all posted there, so you can see it here. You click on kill race. And closest to average, our results. We had Elisa that was in first place, also with Étoile Rouge. We had Xavi in second. We had Krim as third. We had Kaz Dream, or as renamed as the very cringy Kaz I Am the Fear. Hey, we're all like dark and cringy at some point of our lives. Instead, we renamed itself Kaz I Am the Fear. And our fifth was Gimme the Cereal. Our random participation winner was Education. Now it's a little too late to fill in the feedback, but yeah, we already got all the feedback from it. So yeah, it was fun. Fun was had by all. We asked people to give us feedback so we could determine exactly what was going to be the next, what was going to be the content for the next one, huh? That's what we usually have. Here's the question. What game mode should we play then the next FUNament? And then you can choose. And that's how people vote. Unfortunately, people don't like to give feedback and vote. So we had to pick and choose because people didn't give us any feedback. So we had to choose for ourselves what was going to be happening next time. So I'm going to tell you that in just a second. So, what we had also was the Embrace the Masquerade Halloween party results. So, yeah, these were the results that we had. We had Mrs. Enterprise with the champagne ghost picture right here for Halloween was the one that was voted by the community. And we also had Lucky X11, who was the winner that voted, like, whenever we have a vote. Whoever votes whenever we have an Embrace the Masquerade event, they get to win a Bend the Knee emote if you vote, and you are selected at random to get a bend the knee emote. But anyways, so this is the result. Now is the results page. So a little bit more details here. A total of 26 people have voted. Feedback has been asking for people to come up with more original outfits. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. And for screenshots to be taken outside of the Elysium. Interesting. Now, the most interesting part about the results was that our winner won by a single point of voting. You know, the whole thing of like, oh no, my vote doesn't count. It's specifically counted in here. We had 26 people that voted. We had basically person number 26 decided of the whole outcome. So in orders, like from most liked to least liked, these are the results. And we can look at the little graph here, and I can tell you that when it comes to the percentage of voting, yeah, Ghoulish Beauty came in at 72.69% and Champagne Goat at 73.08. So this was the equivalent of one vote in terms of proportion. But this is how you can see, like, in terms of proportion of voting, what people voted here. So yeah, our winner, Champagne Ghost, was the one that people wanted to see win. So again, we're having another Embrace the Masquerade event happening right now. Probably going to look at it tomorrow, but I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. Another thing that I want to mention was there was a scavenger hunt called the Hunt of the Old Clan that happened in October. I already did a stream when I went through all the hints, everything that was written in there, the whole little story. We went through all the answers. I showed every single place that I was kind of expecting to get answers, how I felt about that. The feedback that I got from that was that a lot of people loved scavenger hunts. It's just that they take a lot of time and energy to do, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, people really liked the scavenger hunt. I got some good feedback from the story, and especially after I've done my stream to reveal everything, I got a few DMs to tell me like that I really did a good job. So very happy. Thank you. I don't know when I'm gonna do the next scavenger hunt, but people seem to really like those. Originally I thought I was going to do one for the holidays, the Christmas holidays, but I will not have enough time to do that, unfortunately. Maybe next time could be like Valentine's Day, possibly, but that's me. It doesn't stop any of you from doing more. You know, you just make yourself a scavenger hunt, contact Tobias. Hey, I want to do a scavenger hunt. I want to give those prizes. He's going to give you yes or no, whatever. And then you can make one. It's very easy. If you need any help with setting all of that up, especially with the Google Forms, you can ask me. You can ask Far. We're really good at doing that. Now, speaking of Far, we had also on November 9th, we had a competitive trios tournament for PC players, and we've got the results of that. The results, this specific event was very special because it was an event where only the starter grin pistol and fists were the only thing that were allowed, and people could not use artifacts. So it was very interesting. Gunfights were happening. Gunfights were a little bit longer. We had a lot of people that were dodging and weaving, a lot of people hiding. It was certainly interesting. We got a lot of good feedback from it so far, and some people have actually asked if we could do another one like this in the future, which is just kind of like, interesting. I know I've already thrown a few options at Far already if she wants to do some kooky, weird, crazy rules like this one again. But feel free to give some ideas to Far. Feel free to set up your own event if ever you feel like it. But these are the results. If ever you have not seen them, these were all streamed live on the Bloodhunt channel. So our 3 teams that won are the competitive prizes, so the competitive masks. Were the team of Suffer's Uncle, so that's Suffer's I have, Patchmade Rakan, and Abo. We had MNK Supremacy with Touchman, Sindir, and Not Blazer. And Team Doomed made of Outsider Fade and Avrelij. Still don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but these were your 3 winners. You can see the more details here of placement, team kills, and the kills per player inside of all these teams. This was certainly very fun. I hope that we can do something like that again in the future. Now, what is currently going on? Why do I have this first? Did I mess up something? I completely forgot to put something here. Let's cover this immediately. There we go. We've got Embrace the Masquerade. We've got another one that's going on. Submissions, basically the time to submit your screenshots is technically 1 hour ago, but if you're here live, you're watching the stream and you want to send in your submissions, I think I'm only gonna close it tomorrow. So if ever you're here, you're actually seeing this. So a few hours before posting reminders of that, I only had 5 submissions. I only have 5 screenshots that were sent in. And the winner, if ever you get, like, all the submissions, basically, if you don't know, all the submissions that I get will all be on Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to put out another form. It's just going to be a voting form. Every person that submits a screenshot is going to be posted. And everyone's going to be voting from 1 to 10, how much they like it or how much they hate it. And the person who gets the best score is going to win all of these cosmetic prizes, which is the Flamingo hair color, the Bubblegum hair color, Spectral Wing Tattoo, Slumber Maker icon, and Love Letter banner. They're going to win all of these codes. And a little reminder that these are all individual codes that I send you through Discord. So if you already have some of those prizes, let's say if you already have the Flamingo hair color, you can take that code and give it to someone else if ever you want, or you can make a giveaway with it. It's whatever you want. So go ahead. There was a special rule for this one, which meant that even though you are fitting the theme of dark and deadly, that your screenshot not be in the Elysium. You need to take your screenshot outside in the map of Prague. I don't care if it's TDM. I don't care if it's any other game mode. People have asked, let's stop with the pictures in Elysium. So let's try to do that from now on. We're gonna see what happens. But yes, send in your screenshots if ever you feel like it. The link to that, I might as well post it here if ever you don't know how to click on things. There you go. It's also posted in the community events channel in the Bloodhunt Discord. Now, yeah, I'm probably, because I don't have a lot of votes, I'm just gonna keep the forum open until tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening when I come back from work. Is going to be like when I'm going to go, all right, I'm going to close it, going to take the results, make the form, send it to FAR so she can post it. Yeah. So be warned. Be warned. In the coming days, you're going to have the voting form that's going to be popping up there. And yeah. So that's what we got right now. For the next thing, there we go. The next thing is we have a FUNament. We have a community FUNament that's going to be happening this week. There you go. It's happening next Sunday. next Sunday. So a lot of people, like she says, plenty of people have requested a different day and different time to have the FUNaments, because some people are always missing out. Some people would love it if we're doing it like in a different day. So here it is. It's been popping up in the link has been popping up by Stream Elements inside the chat. Here is the link to the form if ever you want to sign up. So yes, it is a Sunday. And take note of the time. The time is different. Now, just give me a second. You're not supposed to... I just want to switch something. Give me a second. All right. Because I forgot to change it. There we go. So, you can always click this link. This link will show in your specific time zone when the event is going to happen. Hey, you don't know exactly what that means? Also, you can go inside of the Bloodhunt Discord, inside of the community events channel. And let's see here. Oh, and she didn't post it. Well, I'm going to ask her to post it. She's going to post the date and time at which it is going to happen, and you're going to see it in your own time zone. So it's going to display for you when it is going to happen. So if you know it is happening, there you go. So here for me, it is 12 a.m. EST, so noon. Noon for me, for PST, 9 a.m., 6 p.m. CT. And that is because, first, people asked us not to, like, can you do, like, something other than a Saturday? The concern is, when are we going to have the time everywhere, like everyone inside the world, but mostly North America and EU are the biggest populations. What is the time frame where we can all be there? Some people have suggested a Friday, and I'm just like, okay, you can do that on a Friday. Just expect me to be at work, so find yourself someone else to host. So if there's some people that in EU want to do the hosting for a EU FUNament, go ahead. And also the time, we needed to bump it up because if ever the event goes a little long in EU, the way that we normally have our time frame when we usually do the FUNament, it's usually on the later time. And if it's on a Sunday, we have people in Europe that need to come in at work early on the Monday morning, and that's not super respectful. So that's why we took our time frame and we just moved it up a few hours just to make sure that, you know, you get your certain hours of sleep before you go to work. And that's not going to be an impediment on most people. So there we go. So it's a duos event. Same thing as before, same rewards as before. We've got the kill race. We've got closest to average. We got our random participant. Same thing as usual. Except for one little thing. I've made a whole post about this. We have some new additions that are coming to the community prize pool. It's updated. Thank you, Far. Thank you. So there you go. Now you can see, like, it's going to display when you go look at that post in the Bloodhunt Discord. It's going to be there with your local date and time when it's going to be happening. There you go. So yes, the thing that is going to happen is we've got some new additions to the prize pool. So whenever we say in the FUNament that you get also like a certain amount of tokens and your choice of cosmetic, or you win the prize and your choice of cosmetic, you're a person that is a viewer that just watches the stream and you get a viewer prize. You are the random winner inside of the event. It's always your choice of cosmetic prize. Now we have I posted this. The community cosmetics prize pool is growing with additions requested by players. Community prizes are used for community events, so you can win them when a player puts together an activity in Bloodhunt. So the first time that these are going to be added and they're going to be available is during the FUNament. So as requested by many people, we have the appetency icon, the Cosmic Daydream banner, and the much requested Flip the Bird emote, which is fantastic to see in game. But yes, the Flip the Bird is now going to join the community prize pool. So what does that mean? Well, I put a little graphic together to let you know exactly what that means. So that means that whenever we say choice of cosmetic, it means there you go. These are the current community prizes that you can have whenever you have an event. So whenever it is for the FUNament, or whenever it is for like any other event, you want to make it like a little duos event and people get to win prizes or whatever, these are the current prizes that we have. It's always what we used to have: the flamingo hair color, bubblegum hair color, spectral wing tattoo, Slumbermaker icon love letter banner, but now we've got Flip the Bird, appetency, and Cosmic Daydream that have been added to the prize pool. Just to freshen it up a little bit, we've been requesting on the side to Tobias to get a little bit more, maybe some things that we haven't seen before. We're doing our work, you know, advocating to get more prizes for people, just to keep our events fresh and going. And we got like some more prizes for people to like go for. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking for Flip the Bird. A lot of people have been asking, what the heck is this banner that we see some people have in game? So there we go. So all the things that were available before, but now there's no way to get them, we can add them. Again, just want to remind everyone that when it comes to new, like returning things or things that were available before but are not obtainable now, but they are in the game, we are going to be pushing a lot more for icons and banners, because people already have them, they're already in the game. Because like in terms of like other cosmetics, a lot of them you can find them in the store, and some others, like, you know, it's Tobias that keeps them and the community managers are keeping them, some of them in the back pocket to use at specific points and times, or maybe they've got ideas or anything. But the main point that we have been discussing is icons and banners. There's no way to put them inside the store. The only way to give them out is to either have someone at Sharkmob that adds icons and banners to your account, or to make codes out of them and we can distribute them for events. So expect that in the future, in terms of like adding more prizes, is going to be more like icons and banners, because there's there's a boatload of them and people can't get their hands on them, and that's going to be probably like what you're going to see more in the future in terms of things to distribute as community prizes. So anyways, we hope that's going to make some people excited about that, and you're going to join our events. That's right. So, want to do a quick reminder to everyone that community scrims are still a thing, and if ever you want, you can still join the scrims. So that still exists. It's been a while. I should probably like no, this one's good. This one's good. I can probably do a little repost about that. It's been a while. So basically, what scrims are just like a little event where people get together and play together. You know, a streamer does like the 3, 2, 1 go, and everyone queues together in whichever game mode they want, and with the rules that whatever they want to play, however they want to play. And a thing that I do is I set up a calendar. There's a link for the calendar there, but let me just post it here in case you don't know. inside of that Bloodhunt calendar, I post the scrims, I post the events as well from the community. I post also some, extra other things whenever there's something like a Sharkmob event or something like that, something that's been made by Sharkmob. I post it there so you can see already like what's coming up, what's preparing. So if ever you are a streamer and you want to organize a scrim, it's a block of 4 hours that I block for you at a specific time. So let's say like we've got Mr. Hooligan coming in this Saturday, November 23rd from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Eastern time. Again, this is a calendar that you can see. It's going to display in your local time. There you go. You've got his Twitch if ever you want to join in. And during those scrims, if whoever wants to set up a scrim, I give you certain options of certain codes that I have for Bloodhunt that I have in my stash, and I give you one that you can give out to people, to your audience on stream whenever you're doing the scrim. However you want to distribute it is up to you. Some people fight for it, some people just do a spinny wheel thing, some people use a random winner generator from the people who join in, some people play the marbles game on stream, and whoever wins the marbles is the person that wins. Whatever, I have a whole bunch of options of codes that I can give you, and yeah, you get to choose from that. And yeah, it gives you a little promotion bump for your stream on Bloodhunt, makes people come to your stream, figure out who you are, maybe get a little bit more followers and all of that type of stuff. Also, it makes you get some more hours for the streaming in the Bloodhunt category, so you're gonna get maybe that's gonna make it easier for you, give you a little bit motivation to be streaming Bloodhunt so you can get the drops the next week. So a little reminder that the drops that we currently have expire on the 29th. Actually, I should probably make a note of that. And on the 28th in the morning is when Tobias or whatever community manager is going to do it. On the 28th, they're going to make the list. They're going to check the list of who has been streaming Bloodhunt throughout the month of November during the last 30 days. And these are going to be the people that are going to have the Bloodhunt drops for the entirety of December. Now, like I told you, there's going to be a lot of drops in December. I'm just going to say lots of outfits. So if ever you want to have the drops on your channel, make sure that during these last 2 weeks, I'm just going to say, if you want to be sure about your numbers, stream until the 26th. Okay, stream until the 26th. That's when you're going to know for sure what your numbers are, because the website that they use sometimes takes a while to update. It doesn't update on 24 hours. Anyways, there's some technicalities, but I'm just letting you know you got a week and a half to get some hours in if you want to make sure you got the drops for December, if you're planning on streaming Bloodhunt in December, that is. So yeah, if you want to know about more events that are coming up, you can always refer to this calendar, but again, go on the Bloodhunt Discord. Now, I have heard from 2 different individuals that they said that they wanted to make events. They've contacted FAR, so FAR's going to do some follow-up with these people, just to know what they want to do, when they want to do it. We're working on some things. But yeah, this is the first. Now, because you're seeing that this is the window, hey, I don't have any more tabs on my Chrome, you might think that this is over, but no, I have so many news to talk about. I have a second browser full of tabs because we're not done. So a little announcement that was posted on November 8th was because of the PS5 Pro, its official release. The PS5 now has sold 65.5 million units to date. And there's a whole slew of people starting on November 9 who were receiving the first PS5 Pros, which led me to say, all these PS5 users should be made aware that Bloodhunt, a free-to-play vampire battle royale, some would say it's the best BR out there, is right at their fingertips in the PlayStation Store. It's just that when you look at the PlayStation store, you gotta keep your arrow down and then keep it until you're completely down at the bottom of the list, and the last game that you're going to see there is Bloodhunt. Thank you, PlayStation Network. Thank you, Sony, for getting Sharkmob to do a deal with you. It is so great of you for treating this game this way so consistently. My god, just wow. Anyways, so yeah, there might be some new players that we might see in Bloodhunt that are just trying the game for the first time on their new PS5, so make sure you welcome them. Let's talk about some updates from the Discord. Now, there's no link really that I can post to you about that. These are mostly screenshots, like little things that I picked up on the Discord, namely this post that was made by Tobias, because sometimes I have to defend myself. I have to defend this notion once in a while because some people are telling me that that's not true. But here you are, a person that says, wish they added some type of matchmaking balancing before they dipped. Kinda sucks when you get a level 150 to 200 in your lobby. Tobias answers, there is matchmaking balancing, however with 2 brackets, min to mid and mid to max. Anything beyond that would mean even more bots or double the time waiting for matches. We talked about this in the past. I'm not going to go through this, but yes, there is, despite all your bad takes and how you feel about the game, there is matchmaking balancing that happens. So this person asks, so like what does that mean when I'm level 18 and I'm facing a level 100, 200 people? Yesterday is level 200 mid. And he says, as most of you know, level isn't the same as rating. There are people who played for years who still have a similar skill to someone at level 40. Your level only tells you how long you've been playing in the game. It doesn't have any inherent advantages. Someone who is an esports BR player will easily kick a level 300's butt after a few matches, unless that particular 300 a level 300 player is of similar rating. I guess I keep repeating myself at this time, but here's the point. Case in point, myself. I am, I think, a level 162. I've played the game for a very long time. Definitely mid at the game, or high mid at the game. So it doesn't mean that a high level number means that, you know, you're necessarily good at the game. It means that you've been playing longer. Some people can easily wipe us out and be a low level because they just started playing the game. Very easy. But yes, this is me again reminding people that there is matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking inside this game. Just not a lot of it. You might not feel it a lot, but it is there. It is in fact there. Another thing that Tobias mentioned, and it was actually on my stream, and I thought that it was worthwhile to take a screenshot of it and mention it here. There was a person on my stream when I was playing Bloodhunt that was arguing that Bloodhunt devs, like, you know, the old myth and rumor that gamers, you know, the bad type of gamers, like always like to repeat themselves, go like, devs don't play their games. Definitely Bloodhunt devs don't play their games. This is what Tobias had to say. Since I started working at Sharkmob, playtests of the daily builds have been several times every week and have been mandatory. They play their game, even if like there's some devs that really like their game that play their game constantly. They're not going to tell you necessarily that they'll play the game. It's in their best interest also not to let you know that they played their game, or because the moment that you say like, hey, I play the game, then people are going like, yeah, show me proof. You know, give me proof that you play a game. And then the thing is that also inside of our community, the community is so small that if ever a dev had to leak any kind of, I would say even their stats, some people would go find what their accounts are. And that's not really good. especially when we know that some people inside of the community are really angry about this and that and whatever, and will find really any excuse to do some villainous things or some toxic things. So the devs aren't necessarily going to tell you exactly what they're doing. But here, this is telling you that playtests of the game have been mandatory. So yeah, they do play their games. Just thought I'd mention it. Thought that was interesting. And now, let's get to the thing that gets me super interested, that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Some people might have forgotten, but let's get to it. What is possibly the biggest update to Bloodhunt since we got the last final community update patch? Again, it started on a stream. On this stream, Tobias was there and said, if you could change the damage of a gun in Bloodhunt, I'm just gonna remove it there because my bats are in the way. If you could change the damage of a gun in Bloodhunt, which one would you change and how? Someone says here, I wish they made more melee weapons. Whole game is very enjoyable, but there's already the Claymore. Sindir says reducing 9-barrel bullets would be a good way. Here Krim says 9-barrel. I say 9-barrel. There's reasons why people whenever we do tournaments or tournament settings, people ask us to 9-barrel. Probably the TTKs to higher the accuracy. And Tobias follows up by, I'll ask if we could adjust it without a client patch. Now, this is the thing to remember. They cannot do client patches until they have dedicated devs and QA and a whole bunch of stuff, people working back on Bloodhunt. What he is suggesting is that maybe in the back end, you know, like a little client update that would not be a client patch, okay, something that they could just change on their end, would be probably a change to the 9-barrel. Not just that, but he followed it up the next day in the Bloodhunt Discord, in the Inner Circle channel, asking, how would you react if there was a slight nerf to the damage of the auto shotgun and 9-barrel? Don't worry about the numbers of thumbs up and thumbs down. Not a lot of people go into the Discord anyways, and people forget that the Inner Circle channel is a thing. But yeah, some people think that the auto shotgun is kind of like the 9-barrel, does a little bit too much damage too quickly. Like the time to kill with these two weapons is maybe a little bit too quick in the eyes of a lot of people. Oh, absolutely the 9-barrel. Absolutely the 9-barrel. Like I said, there's people like every time that we do a specific event, people ask me, is the 9-barrel allowed or not, because we hate the 9-barrel. The 9-barrel's first, like, yeah, there you go. 9-barrel is disgusting. Yeah, it's always like, it's been a hard port of contention for 9-barrel, especially in the hands of controller players. Ever since controller players actually tried the 9-barrel and figured out that is absolutely crazy, especially if you have the aim assist like really, really high. Yeah, you're practically invincible, and so a lot of the people in the community hate the 9-barrel now. So anyway, so it is possible. Anyways, I thought it was very interesting. Sorry if it was a little clickbaity, but yes, this might be the biggest update where we've got to Bloodhunt since the community update. We might get some weapon nerfs. Now, I want to point out that the 13th, and I want to be sure about this, yes, the 13th was a weekday, so he probably asked some people in the office if it was something that was possible, and he was just testing the waters there. So hey, we might have some balancing that might happen. Maybe we're starting with weapons, maybe other things in the future. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not promising anything. I'm not saying anything, but it would be kind of cool if it was possible. Like, hey, we did that with the weapons. Can we do that with other numbers? Can we do that with other numbers that, you know, we don't need testing? Maybe, please. Can we get Muse back in the game? You know. It's not. I'm just saying, there's not a lot of Muse players out there since the last balance update, and people cried about it. Anyways, so who knows? We're gonna see. Okay, this is a bit speculative. It doesn't mean that when it's gonna happen, it's not gonna break the game. We're gonna see when that happens. You know, if ever this happens, first of all, we need to see it happen to say that it happened. But I'm just saying, after, if ever this is successful, then we would be probably okay to go like, okay, then what happens next? You know? We're gonna see. Anyways, so that's it for Discord news. Now, another thing, something that I've reported on last time that I did the news, we said that the third game of Bloodhunt, which was happening in the London office, you know, there was a London studio of Sharkmob. Their third game, without being necessarily announced, we knew that there was a third game. The game had been canceled. Now, the question was, what's happening with the London studio since? Were they going to like take the people that work in the London studio? Are they gonna try to work on another game, try to get another concept of a game out? Are they gonna help the Malmo studio with Exoborne? Like, what's gonna be happening with that? Well, unfortunately, we got an answer for that, and the answer is the majority of the Sharkmob London studio is hit by layoffs. So this has been released by pocketgamer.biz, and here's what they had to say. Sharkmob London has laid off the majority of its staff after the company canceled an unannounced game the team was working on. So the unannounced game, as I've said before, it was supposed to be an MMORPG, maybe an action MMORPG, something like that. That's what we discovered with the job postings that there was at the time. A spokesperson for Tencent, which owns the studio, confirmed to pocketgaming.biz that there has been a reduction in headcount, but did not specify how many employees were affected. Multiple staff on social media have stated that most of the team has been made redundant. Sharkmob's Malmo office remains in operation and is currently working on PC and console title Exoborne. So again, reminder, nothing is happening with the Malmo studio. In line with many studios, Sharkmob has been impacted by the difficult conditions across the video game market, read a statement from Tencent. As a result, regrettably, Sharkmob has had to make a reduction in headcount in its London office. Tencent remains committed to Sharkmob and the launch of its upcoming game, Exoborne. Now, that's it. Like what they said last month was that it was facing layoffs following a game cancellation. At the time, spokesperson said the company was entering a consultation period and aimed to try and minimize this impact. It's not clear what the future holds for the London studio. The company was founded in Malmo in 2017 and later opened an office in the UK capital in 2020 when it was working on Bloodhunt. Yeah, so this sucks. This sucks a lot for people at Sharkmob London. What's happening with the office, we don't know. I just want to state that if ever you do some sleuthing like I did, there's been one article that was saying one thing that is completely made up, saying that Exoborne is still slated to release in 2025. I've reached out to Tobias with the link of the article to go like, hey, wait a second, is that true? And he told me that this is entire fabrication. There's been no release date for Exoborne. They've made no official timeline. There's no official timeline has been released. There hasn't been even a year of release. There hasn't been like an idea of a release. The only terms of like a timeline that has been released is basically when they're going like, hey, we're doing a playtest. It's going to be from this date to that date. That's the only time a timeline has been mentioned for Exoborne. So if ever you hear something like that somewhere else, it's not true. It's not releasing in 2025. There's no statement about that on their end, any of that. But what you gotta understand is that already Exoborne, there was a lot of pressure on Exoborne to be a good game, to have a good launch. First off, because of the lessons learned from the launch of Bloodhunt. They want to make sure that for their second game, it's not going to be like the same things, like the same pitfalls that happened with their first game are not going to happen with Exoborne. So we're making sure that basically there's pressure to make sure that the bad things that happened with the first one are actually not happening with the second game. That's one thing. The second thing is Exoborne is the game that they got themselves together to make a studio for. I'm still going to tell that story that Bloodhunt was mainly a precursor to Exoborne. It was the prelude. It was the first game that they tried to work together as a studio to make sure that their studio works. Exoborne is the game that they really wanted to work on. So immediately, like already, there's a lot of pressure on themselves to make sure that this game is going to be good. Did I not link the article? Hold on. I thought I linked it. Wait, nope. Sorry, that's not the thing. Why didn't I copy paste? Hold on. There it is. So yeah, there's already like these are two factors of like why there's already like internal pressure to make sure that Exoborne is gonna be good. But the third one now is that the third one is the failure of turning a profit with Bloodhunt. So that means that they basically like they have like a whole bunch of money that has been burned on Bloodhunt with not a lot of returns on investment. So that's a third reason why there is pressure on Exoborne. That's one of the reasons why, it's one of the many reasons why you're going to have to pay for Exoborne. It is not going to be free to play. No, there has not been a price that they've a price that's been put out for how much Exoborne is going to be. Remember that Sharkmob is considered to be a AAA game, so I would say expect a AAA price. But there is extra pressure to make sure that also Exoborne probably is going to be at least profitable in some sort of way. And number 4, well, they've invested a lot of money into the London studio and already a lot of work on the third game, and all of that, they decided to cut all of that. So whatever is going to be happening with the London studio, it is still another big hole and another big pressure that Exoborne has to fill inside of the psyche, inside of the like collective, the communal collective of Sharkmob. Basically, Exoborne has to be a banger, and that's why also for us as Bloodhunt players, with the tiny little sliver of hope that maybe they're gonna come back to the game, it's another reason why we have to hope that Exoborne's going to be a banger, or they're going to make sure that they not mess up the launch. They make sure that they bring in a lot of the things that they're very careful with the feedback. I'm just gonna mention for, you know, just for a little story, that the addition of Tobias Solem to the team in terms of like community management and getting the feedback and getting the right lessons from the feedback, I think that is a major asset that they have in their pocket. Better not waste it. With all of his experience and contacts inside of the Tarkov community, of which he was a part of, that's going to be very good. A lot of the guys that are, you know, main people inside of Sharkmob, they come from looter shooter backgrounds, extraction shooter background. So, you know, of course they come with a lot of experience to make this a really good, try to make this a really good game. I'm just gonna say, I'm not necessarily going to debate on that. I'm not necessarily going to explain myself, but I'm just going to say that I hope that the executives at Sharkmob, the corporate side at Sharkmob, will also have learned their lessons in terms of the launch of a game. Let the people that know about the game take care about their own game. Sometimes it's worth not interfering. I'm just going to use the example of Overwatch, especially Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is what happens when executives take a formula that is a winning formula and decide to make a sequel and push for a lot of things that are unnecessary and not very liked by a lot of people, and that's the result that you're gonna get. Rest in peace, Bobby Kotick. I'm not gonna go into details about that. Anyways, so Exoborne, pressure on it. Right. Talking about Exoborne a little bit more, I just want to mention that there was a closed playtest during that was happening during October that I didn't necessarily cover. If you want to see some gameplay videos, go on their X or go inside their Discord. Here's the link to the Discord while I have it. So you can see, like, there's a section about content creation or whatever. There has been, sorry if I scroll here, there has been many videos of content creators who played that playtest, made videos. The videos have been approved. So what you're seeing in there is is the state of the playtest. I don't think that there's been like any real, I've asked a bit and there's no been like really any state of what they've called the state. It's a playtest. It's a closed playtest. It's under NDA. But this is all you're basically allowed to see for the public, for the people who haven't been in the playtest. There's different, and there's a good variety of like what kind of players, like what their impressions are, all of that. And what else was I about to say? Completely just like derped out. Yeah, so it is, I would consider it like, no one's been saying like, again, like there has not been any nomenclature that has been posted, as in they say it's a playtest, it's not a beta. Okay, some people are going like, can I have access to the beta? Some people in the Discord talk about the beta, and there's people going like, no one said anything about a beta. This is a playtest. From what I could see, it is an updated version of the original playtest, and we know that the playtest was an advanced alpha client. No one said what kind of client this was. We just know it's playtest. No one's uttered officially the word beta at any point. Although we do know, because of some article that we saw in the past, that there was an open public beta that is going to happen at some point. That's what we know. So yeah, if you want to see how the game looks like, you've got many videos to watch. And yeah, and there's even one that's in French. You can use the YouTube translation options to see what they're talking about. You can go inside the Bloodhunt Discord, so inside of the Exoborne Discord, and there are some people who are okay to say a few things or here and there. Anyways, so if you are a content creator and you like to create some content for Exoborne, where there was Jacob Ahmad, player relations manager at Sharkmob Studios, who originally tweeted, "We'll be looking to set up a content creator program for Exoborne very shortly. Let me know if you would be interested and I'll add your name to the list." And he got some people, including Leon here, who said, "Me, I pull in at least 0 subscribers a month." I don't even know if you stream, Leon. That's Mozzie, by the way. Yeah, so that was the first thing that he said. Now, before you go on site inside that tweet and go post, like, please sign me up, there was another post that he made that was basically saying, "Hey, y'all, thanks for showing interest in the Exoborne Content Creator Program. I have signed up the ones that reached out to me, but if anyone else wants to be a part of it, please fill in this form." And fill, not feel. So here is the link if ever you want to do some content creation for Exoborne, if ever you feel like it. I am not going to do that personally. I've already got my hands full with Bloodhunt for as much as Bloodhunt is going to be like available. So yeah, join in if ever you want to do that. And that is enough for Exoborne. We're waiting for and we know that right now during the month of November, what they were doing is they were looking at parsing through all of the feedback that they got from the players, all of the surveys that they put out. They're looking at all the data that they've collected, and they're figuring out what exactly to do next. I just hope again they are not rushing anything. Exoborne needs to be a banger. Like, I think it's in all our interests that Exoborne be a banger. All right. So we're waiting from them to see what exactly is going to happen in terms of like what's the future for Exoborne. I'm not covering more. I'm not going like, oh, there's a new rehack. I'm not interested in that. I just want to update people on what's the state of the game, what's happening with the game, because we need to keep a peripheral on that as Bloodhunt players. Another thing, but that's more in the vampire type of related news that I think should be interesting, and I think it's good that people know about this. Bloodlines 2, the sequel to the original much love over 20-year-old Bloodlines, or at least Bloodline 1. We all know that they've been working on Bloodlines 2. We all know that the game was originally made by a studio, and then they realized that there was some stuff that was not going correctly, so they removed the developer. They give it to a new developer that's just like, take all of the assets that are there, figure this out, let's put out a game out there that's Bloodlines 2. And they decided to make their own game. However, with all of the previews and all of the articles and all of the videos, some people have been saying one thing. I've been one of them. One of them saying that basically Paradox, who owns the IP of Vampire the Masquerade, who owns the IP of the World of Darkness, the Paradox is saying Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is more of a spiritual successor than a sequel, and it maybe shouldn't be compared to the original RPG. Like it says here, it's about setting the right expectations. So it's a little bit about what I was saying. Let's read through the article here. Longtime fans shouldn't expect Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 to be a direct sequel to the 2004 original. According to the publisher, the CEO of Paradox Interactive. He explains that the developers didn't look to the first action RPG for too much inspiration, but drew from it rather cautiously, as it, despite being a good game, it's also an old game with an air of nostalgia surrounding it. It's about setting the right expectations. The first Bloodline games, it's a game from 2004 that is now patched so that it works. It's patched because there is people in the community that keep out a community patch to still make the game playable to this day. He says there's a lot of ideas about what the game was that are more, not to offend anyone, mythical. He wants to clarify what Bloodlines 2 is, so people have a clear understanding of what they're buying, and so they don't come with weird expectations. The new game, with its differences, maybe shouldn't be compared to the original, as fans need to understand what they're getting into. He stresses, mainly we want to clarify that we're making a spiritual successor, not an actual same blueprint type of game, so people don't get disappointed and feel cheated. We really don't want that. That is very important. That is what I was already saying by looking at everything, is just like, this is not looking like a sequel to Bloodlines 1. This is not in any, I mean, of course, graphical way, of course, it's going to be looking different. Of course, in terms of game mechanic, it's going to be different because we've advanced so much since 2004. But in terms of what the game is, like the spiritual sense of it, of what it's letting you do, of like what they've been presenting the game to be, it is less and less looking like a Bloodlines game. It's looking like its own game, but it just is also called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and has a 2 added to it. So this needs to be shared more inside of the community, in terms of the Vampire the Masquerade community, of all the people that are looking forward to Bloodlines 2. I'm glad that someone involved in the project is finally coming out and saying it, rather than a whole bunch of jaded gamers who elevated the original Bloodlines to the mythical status that it has today, being completely jaded, looking at Bloodlines 2, coming to the same conclusion in a way that accuses, you know, the way that they would accuse Paradox, and they would accuse the Chinese Room, which is the name of the developer, of lying to them by presenting a sequel to Bloodlines as a true successor, when it turns out that it's not. So of course, like we've been noticing, as they've been explaining it more and more in the articles and the videos, it's not a sequel to the original Bloodlines. I've been saying it, and I try not to sound like a jaded gamer, like, oh, it's not going to be as good. No, it's not. They have been showing us ever since they started making like the videos and the dev journals and the articles. They've been showing us all of the way it is not like the original game. It's a spiritual successor. It just has the name. It's gonna have its own story, its own things. That's why I've been saying I look forward to Bloodlines. I'm looking forward to Bloodlines 3. Because people, after playing this game, people are gonna be asking, yes, we want another Bloodlines, but more like the original. Basically, take the original, the structure and the spirit of the original, copy paste it, update the graphics, update the mechanics, make another story. Okay, make another story, but another story on the bones of what the original Bloodlines was, and people are gonna be fine. Okay, it's gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be like a bit like a better Mass Effect. You know, it's all about dialogue and a whole bunch of the crazy kind of dialogue tree of different options for you as you're playing different sorts of archetype characters, different clans inside of the game. That's all people want. People want like a story inside a city where you're a person, you're trying to navigate between the clans, you're trying to do some missions, a little bit of janky combat in the middle, but it's all about the dialogue options. That's all people want, and people want a good story. A good story, little mini stories inside of it, few little secrets here and there, a little like secrets as you're playing, like different dialogue options when you're playing this clan or that other clan. That's all people want. People want just original Bloodlines, but a new story, a new thing. Bloodlines 2 is not going to be that. It's going to be its own game in its own sphere. And yeah, it's Paradox CEO straight up telling you here, it shouldn't be compared to the other one. It's a spiritual successor. So there you have it. If ever you've got some friends or fans or gamers out there that are going like, ooh, Bloodlines 2, you can already tell them, stop. Keep your expectations the lowest you can possibly keep them. Anyways, sorry, so after bumming you out on a whole bunch of things, we're coming to the end of this news recap. So with that being said, what is coming up for us in the Bloodhunt community? Well, first of all, we just got the community vote that just came in. We got new vote options. Make sure you go inside of Bloodhunt and vote for the right options. I've told you which one. Wink, the one with the boots and the one with the artifacts that we don't necessarily want to play with, but let's go ahead. We've got Embrace the Masquerade, the Dark and Deadly. Like I said, for the people who are live on stream, I'm going to be closing the form tomorrow evening. And then I'm going to be posting the whole voting form either Monday evening or Tuesday at some point. I have a lot of things in between. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it, but we're going to see. Next Saturday, we have next Saturday in the evening, we have a community scrim with Mr. Hooligan, who's going to be giving out a Lupin outfit code. And then on Sunday, take the time to go inside the Bloodhunt Discord to see what date and time it is going to be for you. It is on a Sunday. It is earlier than we do normally our FUNaments. We're trying something out. If you can't play, sign up in advance. If you're a streamer that wants to play, sign up in advance. We need your link to your Twitch. If you are not able to play, make sure you go watch. All of this is going to be happening as usual on the Bloodhunt Game official Twitch channel. I'm going to be hosting. Yep. I'm going to see if I have some of my technical issues resolved. They probably won't. Hint and spoiler. Make sure you've got your bingo cards ready for this. We're going to ask Kate to print us all like Bloodhunt cards of like event cards to see what we got. I don't know. Whoever wins at the end. We don't know. Keep an eye out on the couple of people that want to set up some tournaments. We'll let you know if ever like that resolves to something. Again, like I mentioned, you're probably not going to see me streaming a lot, but probably a little bit more. Let's say in the next week and a half to make sure I've got drops for December, because I really want to get my drops for December. And if you are a streamer, you should probably do the same thing as well. But anyways, whenever we've got some events made by the community, as usual, I'm going to recommend you to please join, participate, watch the streams, or just lurk, whatever. As long as you're engaging with what you're doing, that's a lot of help. And if ever you've got some events that you'd like to make for yourself, don't hesitate. Contact me, contact Far Avayana. We can help you. We can give you some pointers. We can help you make some forms. We can help you out to make events and maybe make more in the future. Who knows? But as for me, like I said, November, most of November, probably going to be MIA. Most of December, probably going to get MIA. I'm working on some things for the end of December. We're going to see if it actually works out. But I remind you, the community right now is the only thing that keeps Bloodhunt alive, so community is the key. The game still has potential. It only dies if we let it die. So help out, have fun, play the game, don't burn yourself out. Remember, we still have some community incentives to keep the game interesting. And if you want to help out, send me a DM. And also, while you're here, why don't you give me a follow on Twitch if you're watching on YouTube? Give me a little follow on YouTube. Every channel is growing. I appreciate everyone for joining up. I appreciate the people who follow me also on YouTube, because there are some things on Twitch as well that I'm streaming that are not about Bloodhunt. I'm going to be posting some VODs or some edits or some things also on my YouTube, just for the fun, just to be able to show that I'm able to do other things than Bloodhunt. Because I need to prepare for the future or whatever. And yeah, there's going to be a special Halloween thing that's going to be posted on my YouTube soon, I hope. Yeah. Remember, when I stream, I always make sure that I have the special drops and I do code giveaways once in a while. So yeah, follow me there. Follow me on my socials. All my socials are inside of my descriptions. If you are on YouTube, all the links to everything that I talked about today, all of them are in the description with some time codes if ever you need to have access to them. My socials are posted there, right there in the chat. And that's it for us here. Remember, everyone, to be kind to each other and to yourself. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.